Hello, welcome back to my YouTube tutorial. I started with priming my eyes using the MAC paint pot in the shade Soft Ochre. And now I'm creating my crease line using a black eyeshadow from Anastasia Beverly Hills. And I'm using a eyeliner brush also from Anastasia Beverly Hills to create the line. This eyeliner brush is in the number 3. And like I told in my previous video, it's one of my favorite eyeliner brushes. And the reason that I'm using this to create my crease is because it has a very small pointy end, so you can be really precise with this. So the first shade that I'm using is Orange Soda by Anastasia Beverly Hills, what's new, and I'm using the Sigma E40 to blend it in my crease. I'm just going back and forth with my brush, and I picked up like 3 times the product again on my brush to intensify the shade in my crease. And it's just a very soft warm eyeshadow color, so it will give a very nice transition. Now I'm going back in with the same Orange Soda eyeshadow, but this time on a Morphe M506 brush. And the reason why I picked up a smaller brush is because the E40 is a little bit too big to blend it at the inner corner of my eye. So I'm just going in with this brush, and this will make it easier to also apply this shade at the inner part. Now I'm going in with the Caramel eyeshadow from Anastasia Beverly Hills. And I'm going to apply this right above the crease line I created, using the same M506 brush from Morphe brushes. And it's a kind of fun story, because I remember the first time I made a tutorial, I spelled caramel completely wrong. I pronounced it in the Dutch way, like caramel. And then there was a girl, and she said in the comments, "Oh, your voice is so cute, and you spell caramel so sexy." And I laughed so hard, and I told it to my parents, and it's just so funny because when I went back to my video and I heard myself saying caramel, I was like, oh, that sounds so stupid, but maybe for you, because it sounds really different than your own language, it might sound pretty. So that was kind of funny. The last thing that I was expecting after uploading my first makeup tutorial was someone saying that my voice sounded sexy, so it's just very funny, I don't know. Okay, let's go back into the makeup. Now I'm going back in with the Noir eyeshadow from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I also used this shade to create the crease line at the beginning. And now I'm using a very tiny brush from Suiva. This brush comes in the number 238, and it's just a very tiny brush which comes in very handy when you're creating a crease line. Suiva isn't very expensive, so if you're looking for a very nice brush, I could really recommend this one. The next shade is also by Anastasia Beverly Hills in the shade Sienna, and I will apply this right above the black line that I just created. For this I'm using the Sigma E21 brush, and it's called the smudge brush. So that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to smudge this right above the dark line. I'm going back in with the Caramel eyeshadow on a Morphe M506 brush, and I'm just going to make sure that the Sienna eyeshadow will fade at the bottom part, so it will get a very nice transition from dark to light against my eyebrow. The next shade which I'm going to use is the rich brown eyeshadow shade from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I'm going to place this right above the black line. And why I'm doing this is because I don't like the transition at this moment, so I kind of place this right between the sienna shade and the noir eyeshadow to give it a better transition. I hope that makes sense. And again I'm going back in with the caramel eyeshadow from Anastasia Beverly Hills on a Morphe M506 brush, and I'm just going over all the shades, making sure that everything is blended well. So as you might know, it's just very important to keep blending, going back in with lighter shades to make sure you will get a very nice transition. And I know I'm having a lot of steps in this process, but I just want you to know that it takes a lot of time and patience. Now I'm going back in with the orange soda eyeshadow from Anastasia Beverly Hills on a Sigma E40 brush. So this is just the same brush and the same shade that I used at the beginning. And I'm just going over all the shades to make sure it's even more blended out. Now I'm going in with the Jumbo Eye Pencil from NYX in the shade Milk. It's just a white, creamy, big eye pencil, and I'm going over with my brush on the eye pencil to get the white of it. And now I'm placing it on my eyelid using a concealer brush from Crown Brush, which isn't available anymore unfortunately, and I'm just going to carve out my crease. So suddenly my memory card was full, so I had to wait until it was empty. As you can see, the white eye pencil started to crease in my crease, and now I will show you how to fix that. So first I'm just going over the place where I want the pencil to be, and when you're working with a creamy product like this, you just have to work very quickly. Just make sure that you keep your eyes a bit closed, so when you open your eyes it will not get on the eyeshadow you applied, because that's just what happened to me. So to fix the crease line, I'm going back in with the Noir eyeshadow from Anastasia Beverly Hills. And I'm using that Suiva 238 brush that I also used at the beginning. I'm going back over the crease line, and as you can see, the white creamy product will fade away right now. Now I'm going in with a white eyeshadow. This is White Lies from Makeup Geek Cosmetics, and I'm using a Sigma E57 brush to pack it on my eyelid. And this is a step that you should not skip, because it's a creamy product. It's very important that you set it with powder. So when I open my eyes after this, it will not get in my crease because it's not sticky anymore. The next shade is called Shark Bait from Makeup Geek Cosmetics. It's a very pretty blue shade, and it also looks a bit turquoise. I don't know how to say that. I'm just tapping this first on both sides of my eyelids, and for this I'm using the Suiva 237 brush. So I'm pressing it on my eyelid, but at the same time I'm also blending it softly out. Now I'm going back in with the White Lies eyeshadow from Makeup Geek, and I'm going to press this right in the middle of my eyelid using a Sigma E57 brush. Now I'm going back in with the Makeup Geek Shark Bait eyeshadow, and I'm going right above the blue eyeshadow that I already applied. I found the blue shade to be a bit too light, so I'm just going to intensify it by going over it. Now I'm going back in with the White Lies eyeshadow again from Makeup Geek, and I'm going to place this shade right underneath my brow bone using again the E57 brush from Sigma. For my eyeliner I'm using the Tarte Clay Paint liner. It's a very intense black waterproof gel eyeliner, and I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills brush in the number 3 to apply this eyeliner. I got a separate video where I go more in detail about how to create a winged liner, so I will link it in the description bar in case you're curious. I also applied the eyeliner in my waterline, and right now I'm creating that inner corner pointy look, which I'm obsessed with. Now I'm going in with the Noir eyeshadow from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I'm using the MAC 219 brush to apply this black eyeshadow right underneath the place where I just applied the eyeliner. And also make sure that you're going back and forth with your brush very soft to make sure there is no skin space left in between the black eyeshadow and the eyeliner. Now I'm going back in with the Sienna shade from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I'm going to press this right underneath the black eyeshadow that I applied using a pencil brush from Sigma. And to blend it out, I'm going back in with the caramel eyeshadow from Anastasia Beverly Hills on a Morphe M506 brush, and I'm just blending everything out. Now I'm going to use the teal glitter from the brand Certify. Certify is an amazing brand selling a lot of different glitters. I got a lot of them and they are just very great quality. I'm using my MAC brush and I made it a bit wet using a mixing medium gel from MAC. And I'm just going to press this glitter right underneath my lower lash line. Now I'm applying some mascara, and I'm using the Giga Black Lash Mascara from MAC. This is my favorite mascara for my bottom lashes. It makes them very long without making them very thick, and that's what I like. I'm applying my lashes off camera, and I use the Eyeliner Grand Glamour lashes from Vegas Nay. And this is the finished result wearing lashes. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. It was quite long, so I hope you weren't bored while watching this video. My next tutorial will be a full face tutorial for those who like my full face tutorials more. So hopefully I will see you in my next video. Bye bye!